Morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, July 23rd, 30 minutes before the market opens. Quick cover disclosure. Live stream I'm providing here is for educational and informational purposes only. Nothing shown, discussed constitutes financial, investment, legal, or tax advice or a solicitation to buy any offers for stocks and things of that nature. So everything I'm trading with is hypothetical on simulated accounts. We have today one funded account and 4 evals. Idea is that you're going to be looking at this and seeing what works for you and take that away to make your own edge and throw everything else out, because we all have different personalities, different styles, different needs, and different things you're looking for out of the market. So it's highly unlikely you're going to do exactly the way I trade anyways. And with that out of the way, let's check the charts out. So we've had a drop in the overnight session. Looking at the daily here, we see that we've had almost a 1% drop 72 points. We are right at this critical trend line on the daily. Touched here once. Well, it started here once, twice. Now this third time we're coming into that area. And it's testing, and it looks like it's starting to fail in the overnight session. And that starts back from June 11th. On NQ, we have this failure in the overnight session of that previous pennant, and we are looking to possibly come down and test that low day from June 9th and put us in a descending wedge, which is the opposite of what we're looking at in an ES, which is an ascending wedge. So that's interesting. Let's go back to the 10-minute. Last joy to get our pre-market plan going. Yesterday I had some tech issues where my server got a full hard drive, and so Journal Zero, my whole application kind of froze up on me. So I took care of that yesterday, and today, hopefully, we're back in business on the AI Trading Mentor here, Joy. So let's ask her to create the pre-market plan and then give her some of the news that came across the tape this morning. Joy, build my pre-market plan for ES and NQ. I want you to look at the 2 screenshots I've attached showing the daily and the ascending and descending wedges we were in for ES and NQ respectively. We had news about 30 minutes ago. See below for the news. As an FYI, there were data issues on the server you're sitting on, and the hard drive filled up, and I had to restart you and do some other maintenance. So I was not able to finish up yesterday's session, and I did verify that your data now should be fresh, so there shouldn't be any issues now in doing the pre-market plan and keeping up with current market data. Okay, I'll give her that. The news, the daily charts, I kind of dropped in there already as screenshots. Well, she cues. Oh, that's right. I got it. I added something to her as well to give me some a pre-market interview. Actually, how many hours of sleep did I get last night? I don't know. She's asking me how many hours of sleep I got. So we're doing like a wellness check here, or just a mindset check in the morning here. Let me see how many hours I got. I got another 5 hours. That's wonderful. 5 hours. Woke up early, a bit excited for the day, or just anticipation of the things that are happening today. Okay, so you just get for follow-up questions. I'm sure she'll love that answer. Dig into that. One thing I know yesterday, there was trade that I missed. I saw some clear signals to get in short on a failure overnight, the opening range high yesterday, but didn't take it out of an abundance of caution, but there were some pretty clear signals. And so today I'm going to be a bit more, I don't know, less cautious, I guess, or less overly conservative. Okay, Joey's question 2, how would you rate the quality of those 5 hours? It was a solid 5 hours. I feel fresh this morning. Man, the market is just dying here this morning. What in the hell is going on? I don't see any news that should cause this drop. It's just, Trump on True Social. U.S. will hold Iran responsible for Houthi attacks. Alphabet's earnings renewed concerns over using AI spending, while higher oil prices pushed bond yields upward. Okay. Question 3, how would you rate your stress level this morning? I'd say probably 3 or 5. Kind of like yesterday, I had some similar things going on with work, but those are starting to come to a conclusion for that chapter, and we're starting a new chapter at work for me hiring on 2 new people to my team and helping to take on some of the load that I've been taking on initially. And then just the additional stuff with trading, of course, in the MarketXero business. And family. All the things. I'm sure many of you have similar things. A lot of things in the fire. On a scale of 1 to 5, how do you rate your readiness headspace? Effectively, yeah, I feel pretty focused and looking forward to the trading day today. I'm pretty focused. I don't need that adjective in there. Primary focus, one thing today. Definitely plays in the first hour. Only going to take trades at key levels, which would be overnight high, overnight low, previous day high, previous day low, value area high, value area low. And this includes not just the previous day, but any, I guess, previous day. Like I see, for instance, we have some low day that we may have passed under on July 2nd, July 20th. Some overnight lows from July 21st, the close from July 20th. So those would be like valid key levels to look at taking plays, but only those areas, not discretionary trades. And any participation discretionary trade I would take would be only 1 contract, and I would want to make sure that it's still using my risk manager and for a retracement before taking an entry on those discretionary trades. I tell you what, I definitely think voice to text is the way to go for interacting with agents. If you don't do that, I'd highly recommend Whisperflow or something else to anybody that uses agents on a regular basis. It would take me forever to type all that out and just kind of do this verbal vomit dump of my conscious into everything. Okay, while she, I guess it's queued up already. Okay. What do we got here? Interesting. Yeah, volume is high. Same with NQ, which I'm observing as well on the cumulative volume indicator. EOS pressing lower, ascending trend line, failed breakout. Yeah, did yet? Okay, previous day high, 75.63. Correct, 75.63. And let's see, low day. So right at the low right now. Wonderful. On yes, overnight low. I mean, 7462, but that's being recalculated right now. So previous day low, 75.04. 75. Okay, for ETH, yeah, 7504. Yep. Okay. News. Bearish risk off. The initial jobless claim. It's beat. Initially implies a higher for longer narrative, which is hitting equities. Okay. POC migrations falling. Bias reasoning. Current price is significantly below the previous day POC, both on ES and NQ, which favors shorts on any retracement that shows buyer absorption. We are testing the floor of wedges you provided. Indeed. Okay. So it's a short the pops kind of day, it looks like. Let's see what levels we got here from Joy. It's ugly. Rejection at the value area low. I mean, yeah. I guess that'd be cool if we get up there. Good luck with that. Uh, 7489. We should maybe not up these yet. 74. Oh, actually, overnight value area low. Okay, overnight. Okay, so okay, that is, yeah, I could see actually being legit. Okay, I should learn to read a little bit closer what she's writing here. 749, short rejection. Okay, that might actually happen. Look at the full session here. Looks like it's at the previous day. Actually, it's at the 720 close. Yeah, looks like it at 720 close. So we're interesting. We're kind of looking at one opportunity for a short at that close on Monday. Okay. Long at overnight low. I mean, what exactly is the overnight low? We're at the overnight low right now. I mean, she had the last day and she ran this 7462, which is here. Now the overnight low is down at 5.3. So I guess I'll just mark that. See how low you can go, kind of deal. And last one, short the previous day low, 7504. That, yeah, I think this would be a really actually solid. I'm going to actually put a warning on that ahead of the psych level at 7,500. Okay. Got one long in the overnight low and then two shorts above us. If we happen to reclaim this level, then we'll reassess. That would reclaim that ETH low, and which would also align with the opening range low here on Tuesday. Just move this. We can bing down that overnight low. Does she have NQ here? Check if she got NQ in the. There we go. NQ similar. Short at the value area low. At 28,924. For the overnight, 28,924. Did I hear a niner in there? Okay. Long overnight low. Let's see how that goes. I mean, I'm just gonna put it down here at 20,700. Because this thing's bleeding off, and I'm gonna get pinged every 2 seconds on this thing. And then NQ short previous day low, 28,952. Are these that close together here? Let's see, 924. It's only 25 points apart. It's for NQ. Those are so close together. I almost consider those to be the same trade in my estimation. All right, you come into down here, you'd be coming into this level here from Monday, opening range low. And then we had this retest in the overnight session right here. We have the previous day ETH low. We see we had some testing around here as well. So that whole area here seems like a good short opportunity on NQ for 28,925 to 28,950. So I get alerts to both those. See the Dow is just nosediving into, looks like the 50-day simple moving average down here on the Dow. What? Oh, what? VIX is dropping. Wait, do I have this inverted? There's no, oh yeah, I have it inverted. Oh my God. Yeah, save this. Okay. There we go. VIX. That's what I expected. Man, VIX. We are hitting the levels back from Friday the 17th. And our next levels up above are 20.1. Let's put a level at 20 here on VIX. Sometimes 20 ends up being an area of reversal on VIX. Okay, market opens 15. Anything else to note here? Got the Russell for those that play Russell. Dropping off a cliff as well. Oil. Ah, man, they got inverted somehow too. Okay, interesting. So you're going the right direction here, right? 292. Yeah. Okay. Yep, oil's going in the direction I would expect as well. Okay. We'll take these three. Approve. Recent win rate low. You had the last 3 days been kind of rough. Mindset, sub 5 hours mentioned, anticipation, often manifest front running levels. Don't click the button unless the price is at the identified key level. I'm going to be a little lenient on that. I think within 5 points to the level because I don't want something coming to my level and see strong order flow indicating to get into the position on a reversal and miss that. That is something that happened yesterday. I'm not going to have that happen again today. Okay, market opens in about 10 minutes. Let's look at the charts while we're waiting for the market to open. At the 1,000 bar chart, see, we were pretty much playing this area yesterday up here in a tight range. And we've had this now massive drop after we tested close to, I don't know, even open range high. What are we even coming to here? We came to the upper portions of the opening range high yesterday in the overnight session, then dropped off. It's been kind of just a bleed ever since of higher highs and higher lows. I mean, lower highs and lower lows. Got quite a clean channel here. So, yeah, a play here. What is the date on anything below us? I'm going to bring up maybe the 4 hour. Our Coton area, some congestion here. I think the areas that are just interesting. We had this low, this low, this low. These days we're looking at is on July 2nd, July 8th. This goes all the way back to June 29th. I might actually load data right now for that whole time period to get the key levels and other information down here available to me. It kind of stinks that the load 30 days worth of data, but I think once I have this loaded up, should be good. It just needs to do a one-time load of all this data. Okay. Curious about NQ here as well. NQ, we do have the July 17th low as a potential test down below, but also that June 9th. So that overnight hit down below here, which is interesting. That could be of interest if we do break to the downside. I'm looking at now the volume, the volume chart with volumetric order flow data here. See, there's an LVN from June 29th down at 74, 45, 46 area with a stacked buyer imbalance. That might be interesting. Otherwise, there's a demand zone then on to 7425, and then the low from 629 down at 7409. That looks really ugly. Man, we'll see what happens here today. Looking at the footprint chart, I'm not going to load all that same data here because I just need those key levels on the previous chart. We see we have seller imbalance here. We've been absorbing buyers in the way down here. Look at the 30-minute volumetric chart. This big one red, we had minus 200 delta, minus 400 delta, minus 730 delta, minus 3,000 delta. We got this significant B shape here in the previous 30-minute bar with a minus 3,000 sellers and almost a 1,000 seller delta at 7468. I would say I'm going to mark that as a level as well, which is really close to this trend line here, right? So I'm going to firm this here. There's a big delta here on the full session. 1,000 seller delta. Okay, got that marked. That is definitely significant. You see what happened here. There's like holy cow. Yeah. See right here is a 1,000 seller delta at this level before we had some buying push above and form a P shape with a strong buyer a bit above, but we immediately mitigated that and made that invalid by this stacked seller imbalance zone. Even though we formed a B here, there's like strength from the selling right as it closed that carried on over into the next 30-minute bar, which we're coming down here, more selling. Okay. See, we get maybe 1,000, 1,100 absorbed buyers here if we don't close this green. Might get a pop up to this level here and drop. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. Stop this. Come on, add a new level here for Joy. Joy, I would like to add a third level for a short. I'm observing a significant seller delta on the full session volume profile at 7467.25. And I see each 30-minute volumetric bar, we are increasing in negative delta. We went from 200 selling delta at 5:30 to 6 o'clock, minus 400 seller delta to minus 730 seller delta at 6:30. And then at that bar that closed at 7 o'clock, we see minus 3,000 selling delta with, on that 30-minute period, that's when we put in that minus 1,000 seller delta at 7467.25. And now we are getting absorbed buyers of about 1,000 in the current bar as we test down at 7449. I could see a pop on the open, potentially testing this 7467 level. And if there's continued absorption of buyers, that could be a potential short, especially since that level correlates with the lower trend line of that ascending wedge. So there's some correlation between the order flow and structural levels. I also see that the July 2nd low is probably around that level as well, 7468. And there's, I think, an overnight low from July 8th down at this level as well. Okay, let's see what she thinks. Okay, market opens in about 30 seconds. Manage your risk. Keep cool head. Oh, ship data scenarios. Okay. Thanks, Joy. Okay, we're looking for a potential pop up here to 7468, this level up here. See, right around the gate, we have some strong selling. Look at this cumulative delta. It's just absolutely red across the board. Good Lord. Key levels, overnight low. I guess I'd be looking for something up here. added an ATR stop buffer on my risk manager. And if I would follow that, right low. So NQ, popping off of this, and ES. Okay, so now the ATR thing is not quite working, the thing I added here earlier. Top left. Potentially come up to this level. Coming close to this level here. It is right across the board on cumulative delta. Pop it up in here. Testing it. We're at this level right here. Let's see what happens. It's still pretty negative here across the board as far as cumulative delta. So we're trying to get above this level here. Man, out of the gate, crazy. $30 points in the opening 4 minutes. Good Lord. Guess you just bought this right at the open, huh? This double negative seller delta percentage with buyer imbalance, and then just straight up. Insane. Let's go back to the volumetric charts here. So we've cleared this level here. I thought might be an opportunity for a short. And now we got strong buying and cumulative delta across the board. $32 points. Opening 5 minutes. A 30.5 minute candle. Like, Just how nuts is that? $430, what? Yeah, 100 some. Is that 30 points? Is that truly 30 points? Yeah. Up over 100 points on NQ off of that open. Is this going to hold here? It might. If our cumulative delta goes positive here on the 15-minute while still retaining positive on the 5-minute, it might be open to taking this to the upside if we don't have any absorption of buyers. Okay, we had absorption here of sellers at the 7468 level. Let's see if we make a higher low and target the area we're looking for as a potential reversal at the value area low from the overnight session. See some absorption right here. Grab this really quick. Put a stop at 7472. And take one at 86. This should be at 68 is where it should be. Oh, I had an absorption there. Just close the red. I might just get out of this. Watching this footprint here. Actually get out of this now because I see the cumulative delta is all red. So I'll wait for this to turn green on one of these before looking to go long. This might be the short coming up here. Volume is 60% over the 14-day look-back period in the RTH session. See, NQ is above 28,800. See some potential exhaustion in a footprint, but also have seller absorption here. But we have buyer stack and balance is right at that 720 low a day, 74.78. Use that seller absorption, but pretty minor. And with cumulative delta all right here, I'm just going to hold off any kind of long off of this. See if we get a better retracement back to the overnight low, test this area. 6 points lower. We have an ATR of 6 points. So it's like 24 ticks. I had to have a stop down here to be within the ATR. Which I say I probably would invalidate if we get any amount below this level here, overnight low. So put that back to what was that before? Still did have seller absorption here on 2 footprints. Cumulative delta is starting to turn positive on the 5 and 15. It's getting up there maybe on the 5. We have the potential rejection here of the value area low, which now in the overnight session of the previous day. Well, let's come down here. It's not able to see that. But when we made this, we had potential rejection up here. So we'll see what this looks like when we get up to this level. Okay, we're starting to turn green on the cumulative delta. If we get a retracement here before hitting VWAP, I think that looks like a better looking long. See some absorbed buyers here with a stacked buyer imbalance here. The buyer's been really strong here. They might just push up the VWAP on this first try here out of the gate. Or we might get another try here. We'll see. Okay, just stacked, buy-in and balance. Strong red delta in that previous 20 tick bar. Got the developing RTH point of control at 7476. Saw the reversal on the stacked buyer imbalance with 178 buyers absorbed with the yellow dot. Yellow dot is larger participants stepping in for less number of orders. Ooh, that's a nice little flush. That is a nice sign for potential reversal right here. If that goes back up. So we got here 56, strong selling imbalance, flush. Getting above the point of control. Okay, looks like we touched that selling imbalance there, and that was like instant rejection. See, we had more stacked selling imbalance on that last bar. So somebody was sitting there and slapped that thing down right at 7478, 79. See that here? Massive stacked imbalance. We had it here, and again here as well. And now we got 1,000 plus absorbed sellers on the 30 minutes. We are green on the 15, but turning red. Apparently, will be a battle in here right at the point of control on the opening 15-minute volume profile. If we can clear this without getting smacked. Problem is you don't have much runway to get to VWAP. We do have this supply above. And you have this potential area of resistance here at 7496. So you could take it up to the supply up here, maybe if as a runner. Looking pretty red here on the cumulative delta all across the board. 5-minute, 15-minute, RTH and full session. Probably similar story on NQ. We're turning red on the well, we're right at flat 15-minute. Otherwise, we're red on the cross the other ranges. Damn. Another massive stacked seller imbalance here. If you're playing right now, make sure you're managing your risk and sizing appropriately. It's highly volatile. We're 7+ points ATR. Ooh, that's another strong negative seller delta with a velocity uptake, absorbed sellers here. See this 970 seller delta on the, this is right at the same level we were before, right? This is that early area looking to go short in the pre-market. And now it looks like we may be holding this. Let's see if somebody's really slapping this down here, or is somebody just trying to get this down to this level to test that seller that was here at 7467. We are at the value area low on the developing volume profile. It is heavy red on cumulative delta across the board, so there's really no reason to go long here. I mean, honestly, if anything, you probably want to, now that we're going below this level here, looks like that seller is kind of serious here and meant business. And now we formed a P shape here below this level here. I think that's kind of interesting, right? Large seller delta at 7462. See that again here. Do have this new tool here. Show volume profile over a area that I can draw out. See, since that swing high, our developing valley area low is right at this overnight low here, 7468. While we're hanging out right here at the developing valley area low. $2,500 seller delta, which technically is being absorbed because we're above the open, but we're seeing a 500 buyer delta now at 7463 on the full session. Look at this footprint. These footprints are wild, just absolutely insane. Like literally just nothing there. So we got this alert here. I'll wait for this to pop here and see what happens. Or do we come down to test the low? I mean, this cumulative delta is massive red. And we're technically absorbing in this first 30 minutes over 2,000 sellers. Set a stop here for this level. Targeting that low. See, it's 45, maybe front at 48, 47. Cumulative delta still red across the board. It's quite a mix here though on the delta. We have sellers down here, buyers in this area, and we have more sellers now up in this next range we're entering into where there's more of a high volume node on a 30-minute. Okay, move up to this range here. See this 948 seller here. We're entering these. We had these massive, pretty much zero prints here. Just there was nothing on the tape there and got slapped down with some large orders. See how this reacts here. We are positive on the 5-minute, but negative on the 15 and RTH in full session. We did have seller absorption on this footprint in the 20-tick range, and we were climbing higher. Coming right up here in this high volume node here in this 30-minute bar, which you see our point of control up here. See if we get the similar kind of price action up here where it gets. We got absorption right here of buyers, exhaustion at the overnight low of 7473. Program's not moving quick enough today. Okay, we're breaking below. Could on this overnight low test went a bit higher than I expected, but we are failing after testing this high volume node here again. But now we're coming up to this area here. We had a bit of a B shape here in the 30-minute leading up to the open. But we are failing the value area low on the developing volume profile in the RTH session. See if we can on here and test this. We'll see. Otherwise, we might get a pop in here. Just kind of watching the order flow and cumulative delta. Positive in the 5-minute, but we're still strongly negative on everything else. We got about a minute left in the opening 30 minutes. Showing some signs of absorption of buyers here as well. Again, 10 seconds. Going right here. Wow, that's the kind of stop you need if you're going to play the ATR. We had a little bit of a P shape here as we come below the point of control. Looks like things have slowed down here a little bit with volatility that we were seeing 15 minutes ago. Not that anything couldn't happen yet, but it's still looking pretty volatile. I still think this retest up here might be interesting up at 7473. Got a mix of buying and selling imbalances here on the 1000 volume chart. Yeah, I feel like this area up here might be more interesting because we have the valley area high here from this developing swing. We do have some positive cumulative delta starting to form on the 15-minute and 5. But we have this larger node here on the 30-minute. Bit P shape here. But it's a mix of buyers and sellers all the way down. It's not entirely clean, this show who is in control. It's been a kind of mix this 30 minutes. Got a pretty large high volume node on this current 5-minute. Again, passing up to this area, 7467, where we saw that large selling delta, the pre-market. We got this large seller delta right at this area here. Positive both on 5 and 15, so probably not wise to short here yet until something here goes red between the two. Still green here and growing on the 5 and 15 cumulative delta. To show those buyers are being absorbed, I'd like to see some absorption up here. I do see exhaustion on this last print right here. And we do have some actually absorbed buyers here on this footprint. Didn't catch that initially. But we're still green on both cumulative delta, so it's, for now, feels a little risky until one of these two starts going short and we see a stronger indication of sellers present. I feel like I need to loosen up my criteria for getting in because I'm missing the setup here. This has had the absorption up here with the delta. Below that was tested and failed previously. And has failed just now pretty spectacularly. Strong stacked imbalances here. And it's turned red pretty quick on the cumulative delta. And we're at the testing this low here, which we could potentially take along now if we see any indication of sellers being absorbed. ATR is 9, almost 10 points on the 3-minute. It's usually maybe 3 to 5. to have it 2 to 3 times higher on the ATR means you definitely need to have wider losses and less contracts. Got negative 600 some delta, cumulative delta on 5. Kind of flat on the 15. See, we're coming down to this B shape again down here that we had in 30-minute candle before the open. So we're kind of ping-ponging between these two areas here. These two higher volume nodes. Strong buying imbalance. Still negative cumulative delta on 5, positive on the 15. Driving back up to this level here again at 7467. Seem to be respecting kind of a trend line here in the 1 minute. I don't play those type of trend lines because every time I do, I always get screwed over on it. It just never works for me. Okay, we have some absorption of buyers on that last bar. I'll put some here, 6150. Get 5. Just not fast this morning. Holy cow. Just, you got a velocity uptick here. There's some absorption of buyers here. Happening again. You get green on both the 5 and 15 for cumulative delta. Again, this line. Coming up to this point of control on the current 30-minute and full session underneath the developing green on the cumulative delta 5 and 15. So they're trying with a stronger buying delta on the 515. I would like to see absorption of buyers for reversal. Otherwise, it shows they're going to be in control. Otherwise, to 104. But we're green on a cumulative delta 5 and 15. So we do have some absorption of buyers here. Not really significant. 104. Potential yield out here. Nope. Coming up past the point of control, we got 500 and 500 buyers there. On the volume profile, got stacked and balanced showing you for buyers as we hit this trend line that seems to be dropping down. Again, not going to play that. I'm just observing it. Typically going to take a play based on the order flow. And we see right now, order flow cumulative delta is positive on the 5 and 15 with 500 and 1,000. We did have absorbed buyers here in this one little 1,000, but that does not seem as significant as what we've seen previously in this RTH session. And there's actually some yellow dots forming. Got a buyer delta, possible buyer absorption. Okay, I'll take that with a stop where we have 7467. We got plenty of indications that there is buyers here, followed by seller absorption, and we have these yellow dots. We do have a 778 buyer delta at 7457. That aligns with a 350 buyer delta here at that same level. Like for that just to hold. I'm just going to eyeball that. Okay, we'll put a stop up here if necessary, but I'm going to take a tight discretionary trade here with one contract based on not super strong order flow. I see there's cumulative delta still positive, so that's not making me feel good, but as we're seeing this absorption here of buyers, it gives a little more argument to get into this, and that there's a passive seller here, possibly absorbing these people. Okay, I'll put my stop here at 59. above this wick here. Just because we got positive across the board here of buyers, but we see some absorption of buyers happening here as well. So they're fighting. Really strong buying showing up here on the cumulative delta as well, but see if they can move price up. They might. Doesn't look too good for shorts, to be honest. We're above the developing pocket. We got these large buyers here. Okay, yeah, stopped out for a couple points here. 55 to 59, 4 points. See tests up here. We got strong cumulative delta now on all three, 5 minute, 50 minute, and the RTH. And look at the 30 minute. We're getting a potential B shape here. See this node right here with a buyer delta at this level. 74.57. Gonna mark that area. $1,000 plus buyer delta. Okay, got that marked. Is an area of interest. See the 952 on the RTA session here as well. Okay, so this level, 74.57. If I was going to get in there. We got green across cumulative delta, all three, 5 minute, 50 minute, and RTH. Let's see what happens here as we retest this area. Strong selling imbalance here. Oh my God. See the covers. We're kind of getting to this lower thin area here below that high volume node. Not hearing any news here that's pushing this. We get buyers here across the board here on the 5, 15, and RTH is all positive. But we do see some absorbed buyers here and stacked buying, selling imbalance here that is pushing price down. So if we get back above this and be open for a long. If these all stay green here. And we can reclaim this this B shape here. Otherwise, this might just drop it off here. NQ is continuing to make lows here as well, but we're making, on the 10 minute, we are making higher lows on the 10 minute. Come up to that level right now. Got a 900 plus buyer delta right at the point of control. Got positive cumulative delta across the board here, 5, 15, and RTH. Seen some absorption of buyers back here, but it doesn't look entirely significant. But you look at the 30-minute, we do have absorbed buyers here of 2,200 on that 30-minute. See, NQ got above there, and then it's getting pushed back down. Cumulative delta red on the 5-minute, but not significant. We're still green on the 15 and RTH. Negative on the full session. On the current 30-minute bar, we're showing absorbed buyers 2,200 coming into 3 minutes until the full session. Not full session. The 60-minute opening range is locked in. Okay, buyers might be stepping in here. Let's see. They got to clear this 74.57 here. This is kind of the test, the line in the sand. It's what they had in that opening 30-minute, close to this area. And now they're trying to establishing value at a higher level of that pack from the opening previous 30 minutes before the open. Again, buyers here, cumulative delta. Interesting. It's going green across the board here, but not moving anywhere, but also not seeing like a lot of absorption at these individual levels. You see it happening on the 30-minute bar, 2,600. Got a minute left before the 60-minute session is locked. ATR almost at 10 points. So your stops and number of contracts should be adjusted accordingly. Green across a cumulative delta here. Okay. Popped. Seller imbalance. Will this hold? We are green, cumulative delta, 5, 15, and RTH. I'm not seeing absorbed buyers here. Had absorbed buyers on that last 20 minutes, but we actually closed 3,000 plus on the previous 30 minute. Okay. Buying and balance, trying to get that above. Okay, we're inching above that. Whoa, nice little whip to the downside there. Strong buying imbalances on a cumulative delta. I feel like somebody's up here just slapping this, doesn't it? I mean, this absorption on this 20-minute might be more significant than I'm initially giving it. And we have the stacked buying imbalance here that failed to move price up. Rubio is speaking right now, apparently. Q back to 28,700. Yeah, this is looking pretty gnarly for, I think, longs at this point. Despite we have green cumulative delta across the 515 and RTH, and not really seeing tons of absorbed buyers here, but you see this one bar here. We do have buying and balance. We do have this 1200 buyer delta at POC in the full session, 74.57. Which aligns with the current POC. So we have buyer delta up here as well on the volume profile is 7462. And now again here the POC. That looks like it's just the area where they're establishing a line in the sand. Looks like NQ broke the opening range low and is falling. Get a read from Joy on this. Okay, Joy, we have the opening hour in, and I want you to give me a read on the current market context and what scenarios are in play. Please take into consideration the 515 and RTH session and full session cumulative delta. Seller delta zone. 7467. That seems a little, well, I guess if you look at that, it is where the value area high is. As we come here to test the low that was formed at the opening candle. Long at 7462. That's not even the overnight low though, is it? Invalidated. So we just had short, that's it. Staying bearish. Okay, so anything is off the table if it's between 7445 and 7462. I got a potential entry at 7457 above that, which should come up and test this POC where these buyers got stuffed. Okay, come up to this area. Again, we have this buying delta across the board, 515 and full session, but see what that happened last time. We got buying up here on volume profile. That gets stuffed. Let's see. Take a short here. Because we got buying delta here and here. 7463 and 7462. Got green across cumulative delta though. That's not liking that, but we have this buying imbalance up here. I'm hoping these guys step in here and slap it back down. They were unable to move price higher here. Then hopefully whatever passive seller was here is going to absorb this again. Not liking the cumulative delta all green here. Oh my God. Okay, well, what am I at here? 2 trades and both red. Not having a good week this week. A little challenging. I think the last opportunity I'm looking for is probably a short at this value area high, which comes up to this trend line here. That is at 7467. See, we absorbed buyers here and here. We got 800 and some sellers at 7467. You got, again, green cumulative delta across the board here, and it just dropped. Just had to get me out of that trade apparently, and then drop down. Enter negative on 5, positive on 15 and RTH. See that NQ is testing that opening range low again, down at 28,700, and possibly going for the low a day at 28,640. Yeah, there it goes. Interesting in this current 30-minute, 50-minute, I guess 50 minutes into this bar here, we got pretty much flat volume on the delta, rather. It's starting to look a little teardropped here. With some delta up here that's been getting stuffed. I think I did my math wrong listening to Joy. I took that, the lower value there, I took that at the wrong spot. It just did not math correctly there. I did exactly the opposite direction she advised, which could have got me a good fill here in that short. So I was directionally correct. If I had my entry where my stop is, that would have been a good play. Because she wanted me above 7462, and my entry was at 7458. So I just was not mathing things right, thinking I was kind of below that, but I needed to be outside of that range, which would put me at 6.3, which is right where the stop loss was. Absorption of buyers in this last one. So we touched the -1 VWAP. And we do have green cumulative delta across the board with some buyer absorption here in the last bar here with some stacked buying imbalances. Draw a quick little profile here. Seeing this last swing here, what we're looking at for potential value area, which is 5.8 or above, but I'll stick with Joy's recommendation of above 6.2. I mean, cumulative delta buyers keep trying to step in here. And I see that NQ made a new low a day and is now trying to reclaim that opening range low. ATR on the 10-minute is now at 10. I mean, 10-minute. On the 3-minute is 10. That's why. Usually it's, yeah, it's probably around 5 at this point on the 3-minute. 3 to 5. 2 to 3 times higher is crazy. I think NQ might be going for new low a day. VIX, VIX has not made new highs, although it might be, while NQ is making new lows. Got potential absorbed sellers here, but we got strong buying across the 5.15 and RTA session. So we won't be failing this B here, going to the overnight low. And we did have absorbed buyers in that last 20 tick as we failed to hold the overnight low. And now we're at the bottom of this B shape volume profile on the, what is now a 20-minute bar. It'll be fully resolved in 10 minutes. So we'll see where that's at. We had absorbed buyers here in the 30-minute. Then strong buying pulled price up, but then closed kind of flat. And absorbed now buyers appearing on this current 30-minute bar. Let's even bring up the Dow. Seems to be a lagging. See what that looks like in the Dow. Not played the Dow before, so I must be too strong about that. But I see VIX is making new highs. NQ is dropping. Just taking a look here. Have not looked at the Dow before. But a potential entry, if it was going to happen, would be 51939. This is priced out, so I got the pricing figured out automatically for the respective instrument, and so the contracts are adjusted accordingly. ES is dropping below the opening range low. Same with NQ. Let's put a little chart alert here on the Dow. I haven't opened this many tabs up for different instruments, so little dicey. Let's give it a try. Dow. And Dow. Pretty consistent mix of buyers and sellers here on the Dow. And for this, I mean, now we're pretty much looking for retest of this opening range low and a break to the downside. Pretty much a check of this area here. 7449, 7450. Put in a chart alert here at 7447. Okay, we broke below the opening range low. It seems like at this point we're just going to sell the pops. I'm looking for a potential retest of the overnight low, which is 7449. I see a high volume node on this current 30-minute bar at that same level where the POC is there. I think any entry up to 7448 to 7450 and a sign that buyers are unable to move price higher is a valid reason to go short. I will also observe the cumulative delta has been green pretty much the entire opening 90 minutes for the most part across all of those three different periods, 5 minute, 15-minute, and RTA session, despite being red on the full session. Any thoughts around that and our price movement downward and not a lot of clear signs for buyer absorption? I do see buyer absorption now on this current 30-minute bar of about 1100. And we had something similar in the opening 30-minute bar before the market opened, like the 30-minute period previous to that. Okay, do I have NQ on this? Oh, I don't. Let's bring NQ up. Actually, I make this the Dow and put that other one as NQ once we get that point. What does Joy have to say here? This is buyer absorption. Really? Buyers absorbing this entire 90 minutes? Buyers, when they realize they can't lift price, will eventually puke their position, feeling the next leg lower. Yeah, 4 amp. She said that's a good area to get short. Look for the aggressive green delta to continue hitting 749 without a breach if price holds below. Despite green CVD, the liquidation break is imminent. Well, that sounds exciting. I could be short for that. Okay, we can get a little sweep up here. To try to give it the old college try here. Let's absorb buyers here. So we're just going to test the opening range low, and that's it. I guess this would have been a good level to get it short here. Had the little buyer stacked and balanced here. And NQ, ES is dropping. Just had a kiss of the opening range low and then just dropped out. More absorbed buyers here. Not really helpful at the low day. Look anywhere for I think, short from 41 to 46. At this point, it's tempting to just slap on the Dow, expecting everything else is going to keep dropping here. Because ES might not give a re-entry, NQ may not give a re-entry. And with VIX going up, the Dow probably is going to get down and test the opening range low. Unless we see recovery from either one of these two instruments. A little maddening that I was short up here and missed that and got stopped out and probably had too tight of a stop loss. $58, $63, and went up another 4 points and then reversed. So probably had poor placement of that entry. Didn't do the math right on Joy's recommendation for entry of 62 or above. And then didn't have enough wide enough stop on that. Can't front run, even if it was accidental, the entry area, and have a tighter stop loss that doesn't correlate with the ATR, which is dropping. It was 10 for a while in the 3 minute. Now it's up down to 9. Got some absorbed sellers in that last 20 tick. Don't get too excited about that, but see what kind of retracement happens here. So it does break. I think there's still some downside left here. I think down to 20, that -2 to the 7,400 levels, possibly. So we might have another 30 points to drop to go down to these June 28th levels. Do you see there's a massive demand zone from that time? And we have, what, a value area low from June 26th down here. So it feels like there's still some meat on the bone to the downside. Just a matter if we're going to get a retracement or not to a meaningful degree. Okay, we had seller deltas here. And we're at this daily area of potential support on NQ. If you look at NQ on the daily, so you got this low at June 9th, right at 28,531. Or kind of what we're at right now on price. We did peak below that, down to 416, and then pulled back up. But if this fails, and then that low day from June 17th fails, that could be incredibly ugly breakdown to the downside. On NQ, what is that, like to 27,170 maybe? EOS. See, we're cleanly breaking below that trend line. Just put absorbed buyers here. Absorb buyers back here as well. Zero prints. And we're breaking below that June 9th low day on NQ. It's not much of a chance even to get shorts here. If it happens, great, but I don't know if it's going to present itself. hitting that demand that we saw earlier. That's long-term demand. That's probably from the end of June. See at the RTHL, low volume, not low volume, the value area low at 7443. Got a chart alert set up in that area if we do have a retracement and fails that. Possibly play this swing low when we did touch the opening range low and get up at 39. Guess a short on the Dow would have been the thing to do here. Grab that down and kind of grab it as a laggard. See, VIX is coming up to 20 points. You know, this range here is going to possibly see some resistance and continued downward movement. Finding some interest from buyers here. We had absorbed buyers, but price moved up. Looks like as we dipped into that demand zone from end of June. Let's get a little bump. Let's see how much of a bump we get here. NQ is still right around that June 9th low. Let's see potential absorbed buyers here already happening on the footprint. That may be the saddest retracement ever. Look at the 30-minute. It has to clear this. Got a lot of volume down here with the POC up here at 7432. Really would, ideally, you'd want to see price come up here and fail in this region right here where we had strong selling imbalance. We got the value area low on the full session around 7437. I'm bringing this down to that 7437 area. Which is above the value area high on this swing. This is a little drawing tool that I'm recently playing with to show a kind of a rolling volume profile with the delta and value area assigned to it and POC. ORL. And the ATR in the full session is 2/3 above the normal 14-day look back period range. So we might have played out the full extent of our highs and lows for the day, possibly, given the ATR has been, in a sense, spent and exceeded. And I think the other item of note is that we are recovering this June 9th low that we cited earlier. That NQ has to hold for bulls to rally here. And he has to get up to this area where I thought it would be some interest to go short. Get the LVN in the full session. LVN on the swing. Not LVN, the value area low on the full session and the value area high on the swing. We got some buying delta here. Interesting. Strong buying. Showing up. See that as well on the footprint. But we might be getting some absorbed buyers here at that full session value area low. Okay. Watching seller imbalance. Let me take this. We got strong buyers here, yellow dots, and then we have seller imbalance here that was pushing price to the downside. Seller absorption at possibly getting shaken out here, huh? Got some strong selling here. If sellers can't move this down on this, it feels like this is game on to the upside now. There's a lot of absorption of buyers here, sellers rather. A lot of selling delta, 50% negative selling delta. Cumulative delta is all red. Yellow dots. I mean, the only thing that gives me word is we're in this demand zone here, apparently. This is going to stop me out, isn't it? God damn it. Jeez. I'm going to, one more time here. If I can't get out here, then for this drop here, it looks like we have super strong selling. Cumulative delta is heavy red. Red, cumulative delta, volume on the volume profile. Got on the full session as well. We got really strong seller delta here. Probably my stop set too tight here. I've tried to get short here once, twice. But looking for this area down in 7410, 7409. See, we've clearly failed this low a day from June 9th on NQ. Got the Dow at the 50-day. See if VIX is making new highs. Cumulative delta is solid red across all time periods. There's like no reason this should be still hanging out here, in my opinion. Especially with this P shape here and seller delta on the volume profile. See some absorption of buyers happening here. Potentially. Yep, 174 absorbed buyers. Seeing the 30-minute. Looks pretty ugly here with a large volume note here, and it's a pretty thin section here to the downside. Like this 30-minute closes red. Now we got more buyer absorption here. Yes, it's just hanging out at these previously tested lows, 7420. Yeah, put an OCO in here and just walk away. Looking for this test down here. Confirming this. Okay, I have to drop for the day. I got some meetings to jump on, unfortunately. So stay safe, everybody out there. We'll see if I get this day ended green or not. Hope everybody did well today managing risk, and we will see you tomorrow.